If I had a real for every time an auntie asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I'd have enough money to retire before I even pick a career. And if I dare say, "Oh, I'm still figuring it out," she would gasp and say, "You should become a doctor. So respectable, so safe." Meanwhile, I am just trying to survive class without crying. But seriously, whether it's from relatives, school, or the internet, there's this constant pressure to have a plan, to know exactly what you want to be, where you're going to go, and how you're going to get there. So many questions. It's like we're all a part of some invisible race. The truth is, most of us don't know. And here's the thing nobody tells you: it's completely okay to not have it all figured out. Not knowing doesn't mean you're lost, it just means you're growing. Now, if you remember nothing from my speech, remember this quote I use all the time: "Even the stars don't shine all at once, so why should we?" Let's talk science. Our brains hasn't fully developed. The part that makes long-term decisions, the prefrontal cortex, is fully developed until we're about 25. That's what the scientists of the National Institute of Health say. So, if you're 14 or 15 and you're being told to make big life choices, but you still rely on YouTube to solve basic addition, maybe, just maybe, that's a little unfair. Your brains hasn't stopped growing. So how can you expect your dreams to be? The pressure from your peers, society, family, or even ourselves, resulting in poor mental health, leading to immense mental pressure and thoughts of depression. We just can't get it right. This can also lead to anxiety, burnout, and making choices just to please others. Imagine choosing a career just because it sounded safe, not because you love it. Life is a maze, not a map. We often picture life like a checklist: school, college, job, success, happiness. But life is more like a maze. You take a few wrong turns, you backtrack, you get stuck, and then you discover a door you didn't know existed. Let me prove it with real people. Vera Wong, a figure skater and a journalist before becoming a designer at 40. Albert Einstein, he didn't speak fluently until he was 9. His teachers literally thought he was slow. None of them had it figured out early, yet they made it. So why do you expect yourselves to be so sure so soon? Let me use myself as an example. One day, we had a career day at school. Each student had to stand up and talk about what they wanted to be when they grew up. My classmates confidently said things like, "I want to be a doctor," or "I'm going to be an architect." When it was my turn, I froze. I didn't have an answer. Sure, I loved art. I enjoyed songwriting. And I was curious about designing. But none of these passions felt good enough to be my career. In a study of youth, 60.71% said parental wishes were the main influence on their career decisions. So, some young people might have chosen paths that they're not truly interested in. So, it's important to take your time. And that day, I realized something. Maybe it wasn't about having the perfect passion or clear path right now. Maybe my journey was exploring different things, trying new activities, and seeing what I really loved. So, a story about one of my friends. Her name is Ria. She's way older than me, in her late 20s. On the outside, she had everything figured out. But reality said otherwise. She studied engineering, moved abroad, made good money, and wore fancy dresses. But when we spoke, she admitted something surprising. I followed the plan everyone else had for me, but I never asked if that's what I really wanted. So, one day, she quit. She came home, she started over. Now she's a journalist. No, she doesn't earn as much as she did before, but she's happy. She wakes up excited. Her life finally feels like hers. Pressure does not equal to progress. Let's be real, pressure can often trick us into choosing things that we don't even like just so we don't feel behind. But rushing into a career just to look put together, that's not success, that's pretending. You're not a robot following a program. You're a person with feelings, ideas, opinions, and a future that doesn't need to be rushed. Instead, take your time. 10 years later, you might have a nice title, but feel totally empty inside. You're allowed to move at your own pace. Just because you don't have all the answers doesn't mean you're failing. So, what should we do? If we're not figuring it all out right now, what are we supposed to do? Be curious, ask questions, try new things, even the weird ones. Talk to people, listen to their journeys. Not everyone took the straight road. Pay attention to what lights you up. If coding bores you, but painting makes time fly, that's a clue. And most of all, be kind to yourself. You're doing way better than you think. Don't compare to what you see online. Social media is not real life. Everyone is always going to be posting the highlight reel. In conclusion, you don't need to have your life mapped out by 15, 25, or even 50. Life is not a race or a competition, it's a journey. It's your journey. You just need to take the next step and move forward. Learn, adjust, grow. Now, if someone asks you, hey, what's your plan? You can confidently say, I'm still figuring it out. And that's perfectly okay. Because remember, even the stars don't shine all at once. So why should we? Thank you.